Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Hub back in the video today, and today we're going to be recapping the 2024 NBA trade deadline. Today was crazy with a bunch of trades. There wasn't any blockbusters. We didn't see any stars get traded. The best player that got traded today or yesterday was Bojan Bogdanovic, but there was a great amount of trades that happened throughout the last couple of days, and not only were there a lot of trades that happened, but I feel like teams made, sure, teams didn't go after superstars or potential all-stars, but teams were improving their roster, and a lot of deals were being made throughout Thursday's deadline, and even going back to Wednesday, or even past, even before Wednesday. So we're going to start off talking about one of the first deals that we're going to be talking about is P.J. Washington going to the Dallas Mavericks, and in return, the Hornets are receiving Grant Williams, Seth Curry, who is going to play for the team his dad played for, and his dad is also a commentator for the Charlotte Hornets with a 2027 first-round pick, which is slightly protected. I like the trade for both teams. I'm not, it's not like I'm taking a side in this deal. I like the Mavericks with adding in P.J. Washington in this trade, and but I do like the Hornets getting a first-round pick for P.J. Washington, and Grant Williams could be a solid addition and could be a potential future piece that they could decide to flip elsewhere in the offseason or in the upcoming future, maybe next year's deadline. Then the 76ers traded for Buddy Hield. The Pacers received Furkan Korkmaz, who was eventually released. Marcus Morris Sr., who was eventually traded to the Spurs, and then he will be bought out, and 3 future second-round picks. The Suns added Royce O'Neal in a 3-team trade with Memphis and Brooklyn. The Suns received Royce O'Neal via the Nets. This was actually the only 3-team trade throughout the day, which is surprising. David Roddy via the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies receive Utah Watanabe via the Suns and a future pick swap. And then the Nets received 3 future second-round picks, salaries to be determined. I think they did announce most of those. It was Chemezi Metu, Jordan Goodwin, and I can't remember that final. I think it was Keita Bates-Diop, the other guy who got sent to the Nets. The Thunder received Gordon Hayward, and in return, the Hornets receive Trey Mann, Davis Bertans, and 2 second-round picks, a 2024 second-round pick via the Rockets, and a 2025 second-round pick via the 76ers. So 2 second-round picks, Bertans and Trey Mann, for Gordon Hayward. I love this trade for the Thunder, and I love them adding in some veteran leadership to their team. I think that's exactly what they needed. Hayward is a good player and a good scorer and a good leader. The Pacers acquire Doug McDermott. This is the exact trade I was talking about, that the Spurs trading for Marcus Morris Sr. So the Spurs go after Marcus Morris Sr., get a 2029 second-round pick via the Clippers. You see that second-round pick. They're basically getting a second-round pick for Doug McDermott in this deal because Morris will be bought out. They'll be clearing some salary as well. I love the addition for Doug McDermott with the Pacers. He's back on the Pacers. One of many players today that are back on their former team. Speaking of players that are back on their former team, the New York Knicks have traded for Alec Burks and Bojan Bogdanovic. Alec Burks, who played 2 seasons with the New York Knicks, will be back in New York. Bojan Bogdanovic. This was the biggest trade of the day. Bojan Bogdanovic, who's averaging over 20 points per game, will go to New York with Alec Burks. The Pistons are receiving Evan Fournier, Malachi Flynn, Quentin Grimes, Ryan Arcidiacono, and 2 future second-round picks. I mean, I love the Quentin Grimes addition. I think he'll be great, but outside of that, you're basically receiving Quentin Grimes and 2 second-round picks for Bogdanovic and Burks. Evan Fournier will be bought out or waived. Don't expect him to play for the Pistons. Malachi Flynn, sure, he'll be. I think he might stay on the team, but he's not going to play at all. And it wouldn't surprise me if Ryan Arcidiacono was cut as well. So I feel like the Pistons could have done better, in my opinion. The Nets acquired Dennis Schroeder from the Raptors. Spencer Dinwiddie is heading to the Raptors. He will be waived, though. And the Nets are receiving Dennis Schroeder and Thaddeus Young from the Raptors. They are waiving Harry Giles in order to make this deal. We saw another trade for the 76ers. This was a point guard swap between the Bucks and the 76ers. Brian Windhorst said something that made me, think, and it's so true. It's not often that you see 2 teams at the top of the Eastern Conference, make a deal like this, trying to help each other out. But the 76ers received Cameron Payne and 2027 second-round pick, and the Bucks received Patrick Beverley. I love this deal for the Bucks. Adding in some defense, it's much needed. Beverley plays aggressive on defense, and I think that's what the Bucks need right now. The 76ers, I think one of the biggest reasons why Beverley's been traded is because they might be planning to bring in Kyle Lowry into the mix if he is bought out or waived by the Charlotte Hornets. And then we did see the Mavs and Thunder swap draft picks. The Mavericks received a 2024 first-round pick, and the Thunder received a 2028 first-round pick 2028 first-round pick swap. I like this deal for the Thunder. I mean, they get to hold off from, making a draft pick in 2024. They have so many, draft picks. I just feel like, this is a good trade for them, in my opinion. I really do. Then the Celtics add Jaden Springer from the 76ers. The Celtics receive Jaden Springer. The 76ers receive a second-round pick. I don't like this deal at all for the 76ers. I thought Springer's looked good this season. To only get rid of him for a second-round pick, not a really big fan of that trade. Delano Banton, the Celtics trade Delano Banton to the Blazers. Celtics receive a second-round pick. It's a mid-trade, but not bad for the Celtics at all there. The Mavs acquired Daniel Gafford. Is another big that was acquired in that deal. I really love the Daniel Gafford addition. Rashawn Holmes and a 2024 first-round pick from the Mavs via the Thunder are going to the Wizards, and that's that first-round pick that they receive for the Thunder. So they get that first-round pick from the Thunder, Dallas, and then they flip it to Washington to get Daniel Gafford. Love that deal for Dallas, and I love them adding in Gafford and P.J. Washington. One of my biggest winners of the deadline. The Milwaukee Bucks trade Robin Lopez to the Kings with cash considerations. Bucks receive the draft rights to Demetrius Argonavias. I probably said his name wrong. The Kings are expected to cut Robin Lopez. Raptors receive Kelly Olynyk and Ochai Agbaji, while the Jazz receive Otto Porter Jr., Kyrie Lewis Jr., and a 2024 first-round pick. The 76ers trade Daniel House Jr. with a 2024 second-round pick and cash considerations for a 2028 second-round pick. This was to open up a roster spot in the buyout market for the 76ers. Like that deal for them. The Warriors made their only deal of the deadline, trading Corey Joseph and a 2025 second-round pick with cash considerations for a 2024 second-round pick. The Pistons, actually like out of the trades that the Pistons made, this was the only one I really liked. The Pistons acquired Simone Fedacheko for Kevin Knox and a future second-round pick. Simone Fedacheko is playing great basketball and shooting good from three. I think he's a good addition for them. He is a free agent, but he is a restricted free agent, so Detroit will be able to match any offer that is made to him. Another trade for the Pistons, Monte Morris was sent to the Timberwolves. The Pistons receive Troy Brown Jr. and Shake Milton with a 2030 second-round pick. Like that deal with the Timberwolves, adding Monte Morris. If you know what Morris has done in the two previous seasons with the Washington Wizards, being the Washington Wizards and the Denver Nuggets starting point guard, if you remember when Jamal Murray was out for the season, I think that's a really solid addition. The Celtics received Xavier Tillman, and the Grizzlies received Lamar Stevens with 2 second-round picks. Really solid for the Celtics. Like them, boosting some bench depth. My Houston Rockets traded for Steven Adams and sent Victor Oladipo and 3 second-round picks. Victor Oladipo was just cut today. This was on February 1st, though that wasn't today or yesterday and yesterday's moves. But still, Adams will be a great addition for the Rockets next season. He's out for the season right now. You had the Terry Rozier trade where a 2027 first-round pick and Kyle Lowry go to Charlotte. The Siakam trade, of course, the 3-team trade where the Pelicans receive cash considerations. Pacers receive a second-round pick and Pascal Siakam. And the Raptors receive Bruce Brown Jr., who did not get traded in this deadline. Jordan Nwora, Kyrie Lewis, who was also moved today, 2 2024 second-round picks and a conditional 2026 first-round pick. Also, there was a 4-player trade between the Pistons and the Wizards a couple weeks ago on January 14th. Danilo Gallinari and Mike Muscala to the Pistons for Marvin Bagley III, who's actually playing pretty well for the Wizards, with Isaiah Livers and 2 second-round picks. The Knicks traded Barrett to the Raptors in the OG Anunoby trade. OG, Malachi Flynn just traded today. Precious Achiuwa playing pretty well for the Knicks. Were sent to the Knicks for where the Raptors got RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley with a second-round pick. If we want to really go this far, the Clippers received James Harden on November 1st. I don't know why that's on here, but I think that's every official deal in the 2023-24 season. But yeah, I think my biggest winners throughout the deadline. I got the Knicks and the Mavericks up there. I thought both teams did a really good job during the deadline. I really liked what the 76ers did, adding in Buddy Hield and clearing up roster spots for the buyout market. I think the buyout market will be very solid. Dinwiddie's going to be in there. They might be in the mix for him. Kyle Lowry, they'll certainly be in the mix for him. So I think they'll be active in the buyout market, and certainly think there might be some surprising names that could pop up in the buyout market in the next couple of days. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.